All right, here we go. Rachel Agnes is on the top of your screen. Constructed criticism with emphasis on the constructs, which is what she'll name with the 4 copies of Metallic Mimic she's got in her brew. Brian Koval on the bottom. He is 0-3 and dead for playoffs this season, but his deck is sweet, and I know a lot of people that are looking forward to watching this. Man, Fast Bond into Wasteland Strip Mine.
Yeah.
He's got the 1 green mana for the crop rotation, so he's got kind of half the combo. And he's got the main deck Ancient Grudge against an opponent he knows is on Workshop. So good times. Rachel Straw is creature heavy, no disruption. I feel like any kind of sphere effect would slow the Fast Bond down and might actually buy legit time, but Brian's hand looks like it matches up really well against what Rachel has going on.
Now, intriguingly, he can... Well, I'm guessing he's running Taiga. If he wanted to, he could actually fetch Basic Forest and play Mana Bond, and then the Grudge would be in the graveyard, so he could use green to
How about he just draws another fetch land, and he can do everything?
That's perfect.
Yeah, the only drawback to his draw was he only had access to 1 colored mana on the first turn. He's obviously got to worry a little bit about getting his Taiga Wastelanded, but doesn't have to worry about that so much anymore.
So is he going to crop rotation into the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale? Is that...
Oh, that is certainly an option that he has access to. I don't know how. I definitely waste the Workshop there. Tabernacle, she does have the 2 Moxen, so Tabernacle isn't completely devastating.
Right.
What does he do with this Taiga? It could be
if he grudges the Mox, then I'm thinking that he might. Yeah, I think he is going to crop rotate into the Tabernacle.
Wow, he can. So next turn he can flashback Grudge on the other Mox and strip whatever land she plays, and crop rotation for Tabernacle. That seems like a good plan.
That does, unless he draws like Dark Depths, in which case he just wins.
Wow.
Well, all right, so she...
This will be Ballista for 2, presumably.
Yeah.
Tabernacle gets everything in an upkeep of 1.
Right. It's not energy flux.
Right. It's not energy flux. I've seen a lot more energy fluxes in Vintage than Tabernacles. So she can keep 1 Mox to pay for Ravager. So all of a sudden, this Tabernacle plan doesn't look nearly as exciting. Oh, but she's
boy.
Eat the Mox damage.
Oh no! Oh, there it goes.
Oh, this is going to be ugly. She's set up for lethal next turn too, right?
I believe so.
It's like 8 damage. I mean, it's almost lethal without the Ballista. You can right now put like...
So aggressive.
I mean, she can Ballista him to like 2 right now, right? Just eats everything, drops it on the Ballista, fires them all off. It's really close to lethal.
Yeah.
I think she could have set up lethal next turn without eating the Moxen.
She could have. Although I understand...
Yeah, what are they doing for her, right? There's only 1 card. I mean, it's just Tabernacle, right? This is not a card you see a lot of in Vintage. I know Rachel plays some Legacy where it's a little more common. This is the 1 card that punishes her line. But Brian set up with a bunch of tutors to go get it, so... Yeah. Brian's going to take a lot of damage, and Rachel is going to have literally nothing. No permanents, no cards in hand.
And the first non-Ballista threat that she plays is subject to an Ancient Grudge in the graveyard.
All right.
I think this
How about Ancient Grudge as Healing Salve? What do you think? Before all the counters can actually get onto the Ballista, Brian flashes back the Ancient Grudge, blows it up, effectively saving, I think it was 5 damage. Yeah. Flashback Ancient Grudge to stop 5 damage. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's quite a judgment call.
If he's at 2, he's got to worry about a future like Workshop Ballista. If he's at 7, what can she do? I think I like it. I think I like his play. I didn't think of it, but I think it's actually 7 is just so much safer than 2.
It is a lot safer. I was thinking in the long game, he probably could try to control for Ballista, but it wouldn't be easy.
Yeah, I mean, did.
What I mean is, he could, if the game goes long, he could try to waste him over and over with the Loams and maybe play a Stony Silence or a Chalice. But I think you're right. I think grudging the Ballista saves a lot of damage. It opens him up to something like Mox and then a Foundry Inspector, because he would be able to pay the Tabernacle with the Mox. Although you could grudge the Mox then, but it's a Riftstone Portal.
Yeah, it is true that if Rachel can find a threat, and, well, now that there's a Wasteland, it has to be specifically a Mox to pay for it.
Right.
Then she can attack for damage versus this current board. I still like Brian's line. I think
I like it too. It wasn't the first thing I thought of. I thought, oh, and then he'll be at 2 life, but he can get control of the game. I mean, I'm like a Weissman player. It's like it's only the last life point that matters.
I mean, I don't disagree. I just think trading half an Ancient Grudge for 5 life when you're at 2 is...
I think overall, I agree with you and Brian. That's correct. I'm just saying that that's not where my brain went first.
Yeah.
I had to think it through.
Oh, the Mana Crypt. That is a card that she can afford to lose some flips to. She's got 5 flips worth of life to play with. Right?
He will just lose to Traxos, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe he should have kept the grudge.
Is Traxos 4 or 5?
4.
Oh, okay.
However,
it's 2 and 7 is both 1 hit from Traxos. Is this happening? 1 hit from Traxos is going to kill Brian from 7?
But Brian has a lot of live top decks.
But he needs it immediately. That is not... he's just done. All of a sudden, Mana Crypt came off the top. Traxos came out. He has to waste the Ancient Tomb and hope she can't come up with a way to trigger Traxos' untap. But she's got a Mana Crypt.
Well, if he wastes the Ancient Tomb, he has to tap the Mana Crypt to pay for Traxos' upkeep cost.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm sorry, you're right. That's a great point.
Metallic. So she has to draw a Workshop or a Tomb here. If she draws a Factory...
Well, land is actually good enough to let her pay the upkeep with a land. Right now, right, Brian's out of Wastelands.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, she's obliged to spend Mana Crypt mana to untap Traxos, but any mana source will win her the game next turn, barring a Brian Coleman.
Yeah. Unless Brian draws Caracas. Or Thespian Stage or Crop Rotation.
Oh, Brian has tons of top decks. Well, that's not going to get the job done. Brian gets another top deck. It's not even going to take him that long to melt down Dark Depths, right?
Right.
Does Riftstone's
Well,
Portal's
I mean, it's going to be long.
I was thinking he was almost to double, because if he can get a Riftstone Portal into the yard, then Tabernacle and Dark Depths start to tap for mana. But
so Bajuka Bog.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything relevant here other than potentially tap for mana.
And even with that Chalice, if she draws a Mox, it will still untap the Traxos because it's being cast.
It gets played but then countered, and that will untap Traxos. What a bizarre... This game's awesome. If this is any indication of what our night is going to be like, buckle up. Just, we're off in the, like, magical Christmas land corners of this. I love it.
A lot of swingy top decks.
All right. She won the coin flip. That can become a victory condition. The coin flip's actually probably going to kill her before Dark Depths melts down.
Yeah, before Dark Depths.
It's a land!
Mishra's Factory!
Okay,
oh boy.
So Now, if Mistress Factory survives the turn, she can use that to pay for Tabernacle, getting an untapped Mana Crypt to pay for Metallic Mimic.
Metallic Mimic.
Still, tons of live top decks for Brian, including all
So
the
many.
Wastelands all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What's it going to be?
No, it's an exploration!
What
Oof.
a game. And you know what? Your Ancient Grudge intuition is looking pretty good right here. If he was at 2 with an Ancient Grudge in his yard, no problem.
You convinced me that you were.
I know! I thought he convinced me!
Mm-hmm.
But look, the way the game actually played, it doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean he was wrong to flashback the Ancient Grudge, right? I don't want to endorse results-oriented thinking.
In Vintage, the right line loses the game pretty frequently.
I mean, look, the right line can lose the game 40% of the time and still be the right line.
Absolutely.
Metallic Mimic for the win. She names Construct.
Unbelievable. And I feel bad for Brian because he really had so many top decks.
He had 10 turns. He made that decision on turn 2. He then drew 8 cards off the top of his library, none of which did literally anything.
That was bad luck. It reminds me of sitting across from an opponent with Dak and Jason play, and I'm like, all right, they're tapped out that one turn. This is my one chance. And you keep drawing like Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta. And you just get sick every time you draw land.
Now, to be fair, being at 2, he might have lost to a Mistress Factory. Although that Mana Crypt is probably would have gotten countered by the Chalice. But like the next land drop she comes up with kills him with Mistress Factory. I don't know. I just think we're off in crazy. We're gonna get weird tonight. That's what chat is saying. I think they've got it right.
I'm guessing that Brian will not bring in Thorn or Sphere.
He's got more Ancient Grudges though, right?
Yeah, and he has Cinder Vines. I don't know if he'll bring that in. It does sacrifice to destroy an artifact or enchantment.
Has not brought them in so far.
I have to watch out for them.
Sure.
When I play Brian.
Oh, he's got Nature's Claims too? Yeah. Oh, they're coming in. In come the Cinder Vines, in come the Nature's Claims.
Oh, nice.
In come Raminop Excavator. Sure, why not? You're hired. Out go the Missteps. He does not look like he wants a Stony Silence.
He's thinking about Chalice. Chalice on the draw is... It's a tough call, because I wouldn't keep it in if I were playing an ordinary, the kind of decks that I play Chalice in, or certainly in a shot mirror, you wouldn't want Chalice on the draw. But he has so few Moxen, and his strategy is really about... It's almost like a smokestack deck in the sense that it wants to lock them out with all the Wastelands and then cut off their artifact mana. Yeah, so he's going to take Chalice out, but it's reasonable that he has to go in the tank over it briefly.
Does her sideboard do anything relevant?
Trying to see. Dismembers, Null Rod.
Sorcerer Spyglass, maybe?
I would definitely bring in the Spyglass. Is that coming in?
That's about all she's got, unless she wants the Karns.
Karn's not that bad. Planeswalkers are difficult for lands to deal with.
Right. All right. Now what?
Man,
I still can't believe Brian lost after that his position on turn 2. She had literally nothing. She had no permanents and also no cards in hand. And Brian was at 7 with a Tabernacle and some other a Tabernacle, a Dark Depths, and some other land. Crazy.
Yeah, that was. I thought that we were going to see Brian cast Life from the Loam.
Right, he never found one. Well, he never found a Bazaar. He never found a Life from the Loam. That's really, I mean, either of those cards sends the deck sort of over the edge into generating value every turn. He went 10 turns, right? He saw 20-ish cards. Just never found either one of those. All right, so what is this draw? This draw is Bazaar, Ancient Grudge, Wasteland, got Riftstone Portal. That's Maze of Ith, isn't it?
Now, if Brian had a Mox Emerald, he could Bazaar and discard the he could crop rotate the Bazaar when it gets wasted.
I mean, he almost can. He's going to put Riftstone Portal in the graveyard, and that will let the Bazaar tap for green, but he can't do that fast enough to crop rotate here.
Because he has to use the Bazaar to Bazaar.
Right.
Cinder Vines. All right.
Yeah, he brought him in. Yeah, crop rotation as a response to Wasteland just seems like crazy good value.
Mm-hmm.
If you can pull it off. It's a credit to Rachel, I think. A lot of people with her hand might have been tempted to just go Ancient Tomb, Thorn of Amethyst, but I think she's right to open with the Wasteland. You see the enemy Bazaar. It's like, I don't know, any deck that has Bazaar Baghdad in it gets value every time they tap it. You gotta.
That was an amazing top deck, Brian.
Life from the Loam, is that card good in this deck?
Very.
Wow, he goes Cinder Vines. He could have cast Life from the Loam because Wasteland taps for green via Riftstone. Could have cast Crop Rotation, but nope. It's Vintage All-Star Cinder Vines that you play first.
So does she?
Honestly,
I doesn't.
I couldn't tell you what Cinder Vines does without looking at it.
It deals 1 damage to your opponent when they cast. I think it's a non-creature spell, and you can sacrifice it. Maybe you pay 1, and it destroys an artifact or an enchantment when you sacrifice it. And when it does that, it deals 2 damage.
Sure.
Either to your opponent or 2 damage to the artifact or enchantment controller. That I don't remember.
It's the permanence controller. You did pretty good there, Brian. You passed.
Thank you. All right, Metallic Mimic. I'm guessing she'll name Construct, although she could name Golem.
Almost everything in her deck is a construct. You're right. The Lodestone Golem isn't. And Arcbound Ravager, I think, is randomly a beast in Oracle. But I think everything else is a construct. All right. Waste on Ancient Tomb. He's got another land, so he can get his Life from the Loam if he wants to, or he can crop rotation. Is it Tabernacle time? Oh, it's not Tabernacle time. Tabernacle taps for green mana. How do you not get Tabernacle there? He's just worried about Wasteland?
He doesn't have to be if he has Loam.
I know. I would have gotten Tabernacle there because of the Riftstone portal. It taps for
Maybe
green.
he just doesn't care. Like he sees that 2/2 there. Whatever. If it really becomes a problem, could Cinder Vines.
Look, it could easily be that like his brain isn't registering Tabernacle as a thing you can then tap to cast.
True.
Life from the Loam.
It could be that, yeah.
Vines plinks away. Galarian Academy makes a lot of mana here, but of course he got back to Wasteland, so she's got to get done whatever she can and quickly.
I think this benefits Brian. I think Brian's in a very strong position here.
Oh, he should be. The crop rotation gives him access to like the Tabernacle in particular. Right? I think he can blow up everything. He can do the same thing he did last turn, right? Blow up her whole board. Waste Academy, flashback Grudge on Mox Emerald, and crop rotation for Tabernacle.
Yeah.
It's funny. Maybe he slow rolled that deliberately so she'd commit a little more to the board before he exposed it to a potential Wasteland or Strip Mine.
Ooh, Grudge.
Did he take out the Tabernacles? What am I missing?
I don't think so. That wouldn't be a good decision. This is one of the matchups where you really want it.
You see, he's not going for it though, right?
Right.
Look, I am no lands expert. I'm not even.
I'm not either. It could be that he's looking ahead towards being able to put Thespian Stage Dark Depths together. He might just be keeping his options open because his crop rotation is a bomb, and it can do many things.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly get sitting on Life from the Loam.
And he could also be gun shy to make that because it was a phenomenal play last game, and he ended up losing to Mana Crypt Traxos. A lot of times, if I make a play and I lose to it, it's human nature. I'm gonna think twice before doing that. If he really didn't want that metallic mimic, at that point he could Cinder Vines. No, excuse me. There's a thorn in place, so it would cost him 2
Thorn
to
Thorn is annoying to hear. And he is really slow rolling that crop rotation.
Yeah.
I think you might be right that he's a little gun shy after the last game. A little gun shy to spend it without getting half the combo.
Right. So I guess Rachel's going to plane, and there's no reason for her to sacrifice her strip mine to someone who
has an unlimited supply.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where post sideboard, Grafdigger's Cage is strictly inferior to Tormod's Crypt against lands.
Caracas, in case any future tracks show up.
Or Dramoka.
How close is he can combo off not this upkeep, or not this end step, because the Thorn is going to make his crop rotation cost 2, and he therefore won't have enough mana for Thespian Stage, but he's very close to comboing off. And yeah, I think cash in the Cinder Vines, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He can't combo off through a strip mine, though. He kind of needs to either combo off while her strip mine is tapped,
right,
or he needs to waste it, which is rough if it's untapped.
The Thorn is putting in some work.
The Thorn is putting in some work. So is the strip mine, and she's completely correct to just not pull the trigger on strip mine.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we've been having all this fun with Loam and all the random stuff Brian's been doing with his lands, but fundamentally, he wants to win with Dark Depths, and strip mine beats that. If she just never taps her strip mine, he's going to wind up having to throw 2 lands at it, which is a lot of time.
I was hoping he would have played a Maze of Ith earlier. I think he might have been able to stem some bleeding.
I feel like his plays make a lot of sense if you ignore the fact that Riftstone Portal is in the graveyard. Like, there's all these utility lands like Maze of Ith, like Tabernacle, which the big drawback is they don't tap for mana. Like, why? Yes, why isn't Maze of Ith in play? It taps for mana via Riftstone Portal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what should... Okay, null.
He's down to 8. This is tricky.
Yeah.
And he's been drawing off the top rather than dredging Life from the Loam because of the work the Thorn is putting in.
So if Rachel draws a workshop, does she just win? Does she just attack?
Now that she's got a Ravager, I've got to say the answer's got to be yes. Ballista's a construct too, so Metallic Mimic gives it a bonus counter.
He can... man, I was going to say he could crop rotate the Glacial Chasm, but the strip...
Right, the strip mine is putting in a lot of work. So this is an attack for 4. Ravager, she shouldn't go all in with Ravager because he can have a crop rotation.
Here's the question. Can he crop rotate into Glacial Chasm and then copy it in response to a strip mine like the Thespian Stage, the Glacial Chasm? so that it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, well, he's going to go for his combo, is what he's decided. He's demonstrated pure knowledge of Riftstone Portal. He's tapping things for mana. Now, what Rachel needs to do to stop the combo is strip mine the... There you go. Strip mine the Dark Depths as a response. And now Brian was planning for this. His whole deal was get her to commit her strip mine, force her to commit strip mine, so that he can then use his crop rotation and go get Glacial Chasm. Well navigated by Brian. I mean, It was painful, right? He had to blow his combo. He's down a land from that. But he was able to crop rotate, sacking the land the strip mine was pointed at. So
yeah. So I guess he paid 2 life here to keep it in play?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
he can pay 2 life followed by 4 in theory.
He's gonna have to get that Null Rod into play.
Oh, to deal with Ravage or Ballista shenanigans? I mean, if he can win with before the Chasm goes away, then he's fine. Ballista doesn't beat Chasm, right? It's just all damage is reduced to 0.
Right, but his plan, he can recur the Chasm indefinitely, except in the interlude where the Chasm is gone after the upkeep, she can ping him to death with the Ballista.
Right. Life from the Loam will let him play a Glacial Chasm every turn if that's how he wants to play it.
I think he really wants an exploration.
Oh, yeah. This game would have been much easier if he'd had a way to get extra land drops into play. It's like he played the first game without a Life from the Loam, and now he's playing this game without any sort of Fast Bonder exploration.
Yeah.
Now, this is smart. He goes for the Null Rod.
Right.
Super smart by Brian Koval. This takes away Rachel's ability to deal direct damage, right? Her deck is now required to kill him with attacking. And in unlimited Glacial Chasms prevents her from ever damaging him with an attack.
This game can really go either way.
Can it? What does she do now? I feel like
she just wastelands the Glacial Chasm. She draws Wasteland.
Sure. But like the only path to victory Rachel has, Brian basically has the game locked, other than she can top deck a Wasteland for Glacial Chasm pre-combat. Other than that, aren't we just done? Or can he actually can he cast Life from the Loam?
No.
Oh, he's one land drop short. He's gonna have to get one more land into play because of the Null Rod turned off his Ruby and the Thorn makes his Life from the Loam +3. So he's obliged, I believe, to pay 4 life. Go down to 2, but then he gets the land, so then he's fine. Now he's got her locked until she draws a Wasteland. Right?
I think that's correct. And there's Cinder Vines. What does that even do here? I don't think it...
You can kill the Thorn, but I think you just cast your Life from the Loam? No, I guess you use Life from the Loam in her... Sorry, Brian needs the Life from Loam in his hand so that he can target Glacial Chasm with it next turn.
Yeah.
Definitely needs to make a land drop this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is... I don't know, maybe you cast Life from the Loam because you're going to dredge it to start next turn.
It'd be nice to get another stage, or I'm sure there are a lot of utility lands.
How does he actually win?
The Marit Lage.
I mean, I know that in theory, but how does he ever get those 2 lands into play, given that he's now obliged to cast Life from the Loam every turn for the rest of the game? Right? Isn't he obliged to replay Glacial Chasm every turn for the rest of the game? He's got them in his hand, but how does he find the... I guess...
I think eventually he can get...
He needs exploration, right? He needs an exploration.
Yeah, but he won't draw... This is a good... Yeah, he won't draw exploration if he has to dredge Life from the Loam every turn.
What a weird game!
Very weird.
Can he Thespian stage the Glacial Chasm? If he plays Thespian stage at some point...
Yeah.
But he has to let this Chasm go. He cannot pay this upkeep. Right?
Right.
So he's obliged to let Glacial Chasm go here.
And then you have to sacrifice a land every time you put the Chasm into play, so he can't keep it up indefinitely.
This is a good point. Forgot about that.
Oh,
He has to go digging for an exploration.
Fast Bond would be great too, because you can use it
on 2 life.
With if you get the Chasm in play, it will prevent the damage from the Fast Bond.
I think Fast Bond is pay life. Is it damage?
Yeah, it's damage.
Oh, okay. That would work.
Wow. Maybe he was supposed to Bazaar. Maybe that's how he tries to find an exploration.
I don't understand how Rachel. Well, it looks to me like I'm starting to think Rachel's going to win this match 2-0. Like it's going to be in the scorebook as an easy win. Oh, Bazaar into Fast Bond. Because Fast Bond is damage, he can now play all his lands. No, he has to get the Glacial Chasm into play first, and it's currently in his yard. So he has to play Life from the Loam. This is so weird.
And he can't play.
I don't know. My experience with land stacks, especially the little bit I've seen them in Vintage, is that things look hopeless, and then the skillful pilot finds a way to thread the needle that I never saw coming. That's usually my experience. So I'm not going to say never, but I don't get it. I don't know.
I know exactly. Or I feel like I'm so far ahead and I have everything under control, and then like I blink for a moment and Meryl H is in play.
Rachel's just like it. Cool deck. But what are you going to do about Arcbound Ravager? Hell, what are you going to do about Metallic Mimic? Metallic Mimic has dealt like 8 damage this game. Maybe 10.
I think he just loses now. Am I missing something? I mean, you would want... Because if he plays Life from the Loam, he has to use a land. He can Life from the Loam
for Glacial Chasm.
He has to use his land drop to do that, though.
I understand. He doesn't lose this turn, but I think he loses the ability... Oh, can he still Life from the Loam? Oh, he can't even Life from the Loam anymore. Because he tapped
that's because he tapped his Bazaar for mana. So if he plays...
Sorry, tapped the Bazaar for its ability instead of using it for mana. I got nothing, Brian.
I don't know if there is an out. I don't know how things got to this point. Does he have grudges in the yard?
I mean, there's only 21 cards left in his library, but I didn't specifically notice one. I admit I wasn't looking at all the dredges.
I think he loses.
I think he loses too. And I thought he had both these games on about turn 2 or 3. Yeah. There it is. Rachel Agnes. Halfway home. Rachel came into tonight. She's the best record of anyone playing tonight at 2-1. All she needs is a 2-1 and she's through to the playoffs. And if she can run the table, she gets all the way to the first round bye in the playoffs. She joins me first place in this at 5-1. So halfway home to a playoff spot and still live to become the second 5-1 of the season.
I would wish for the best in doing that, except that require defeating me. So we'll say I have to.
All right. Well, first up, attempting to defeat you is going to be the Great One. It'll be you and Bob Maher coming up in the next match.
Oh my. All right. So Enchantress versus Belcher.
Enchantress versus Belcher. Just your everyday, ordinary vintage Super League
Chalice.
Enchantress versus Belcher.
Yeah.
Have fun. I would say good luck, but I think I'll go with have fun.
Thank you very much, Randy. It was a pleasure.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We are just getting started. Buckle up. This night looks wild. We'll be right back after this.
Bye, everyone.
CoolStuffInc.com is your home for everything Magic the Gathering. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up some sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered with our extensive live inventory. With free shipping on orders of $100 or more, a 25% buy list bonus, and our ever-popular customer rewards program, CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs.